Hoi hoi! It's louisity again, and for this reading vlog, I'm going to read Frog Dust by Kelly Yang. Hooray! So, it's my first time reading a book written by Kelly Yang, and I've been seeing Kelly Yang all over social media, and I've been kind of interested in reading her books, and she seems to be a nice person, so I kind of want to support her. I want to support authors, basically. You know me. That's who we are in this channel. And yes, I'm going to be starting another series. So I believe this is a middle grade preteen contemporary book. And yes, I'm definitely excited to dive in. And also finally a new author, a new series. Well, something kind of cool. Yeah. So definitely eager to read this, and let us begin. I'm so excited. Finally going to be reading a book from an author that I haven't read. So here's a reading update. Now, I've read more than 100 pages of Front Desk by Kelly Yang. Now, I'd have to say that the characterization of the characters is really clear and fleshed out. You're either gonna dislike them or you're gonna love them. Like with Mia, she's kind of like one of those characters that, for me personally, I'm not like that when I was your age, but you're still such a sweet girl. I love how caring she is towards other people and sympathetic. The book really tackles about the struggles of immigrants and racism and, interestingly, the prejudice or the discrimination towards amongst people of color. That's also illustrated here. Mr. Yao. And how sometimes, some of the characters, with Jason, I feel like he is the epitome of, he is mean to others just because there are, other people that are being mean to him, and he is sometimes misdirecting his frustrations to Mia. So that's kind of how I found the story so far. And I just love the fact that, that even if the story is not super happy and joyful as compared to how you would probably think based on the cover. Even if that's the case, I like those little scenes of joy with Mia's family, their little, the laundry part, and what else? The fake camera and all that stuff. So it also tackles about dreaming and kind of thinking about the difference between knowing your limitations and, not shrinking into just one thing, not just shrinking with being good in math. You can also develop skills in terms of, communication and expressing, or languages, So I like Lupe, I like Guadalupe saying, you can't win if you don't play. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm definitely looking forward to read the next chapters. So I'll catch you folks later. Whoa. So here's another reading update. Now, that twist about Mr. Lawrence's car, you wouldn't believe. You'd be like, oh. I mean, I was when I read it. But anyway, this novel is really fast-paced. It's, kind of something that could be sort of read smoothly and quite quickly, obviously, because this was meant for younger readers and it's a contemporary one. So relatively, for someone like me, it might be quicker, and it would definitely be quicker and it would be easier. And honestly, it's very enjoyable. You know what? I like how the ideals were placed, you know, and how like childlike thoughts were incorporated, and how, they were making like good effects towards the characters of the story. I like Mia's like optimistic views, how it was conveyed, and it was just like fun despite all of like the not so wonderful things that were happening in the story, from Mia's pencil getting lost, you know, and I already read like that iconic line, like, Jason, did you buy a new face? And honestly, it's interesting how, like, with a comparison of Jason and Mia, like, though they are like both of East Asian heritage, it doesn't tantamount that they would be like the same person or have the same traits, to be specific. Like, how sometimes, like, for example, people of color are be kind of lumped, and like how all like quote unquote positive traits are being lumped to us, but at the same time we are different people. We have like our positive traits, and we also have our negative traits. So, and I mean, I'm not going to look far. It's kind of like with my fellow Filipinos, like there are you know great Filipino people to be with, and there are not so great Filipino people to be with. I mean, that's the truth. That's life. There's always going to be for everyone, and everyone is not for everyone, if that makes sense. But anyway, I really enjoyed reading this story. I was like kind of giggling on the sides. I was getting like mad at the scenes where I'm supposed to get mad, and I just also love, that like the family love is being conveyed here, like especially that scene, that unfortunate scene with Mia's mom, and I'm so happy for Hank. I'm so happy. It's like and the characterizations are, you know, definitely illustrated well. Where, especially if you're like a character-driven person, you know what? With contemporary, that's kind of expected. You tend to like root for the characters because you follow like their stories, their circumstances, and it's like when Hank got a new job, I was like smiling. It's like I feel like I want to have a Hank in my life now. Can you get me a Hank in my life, please? Please. Thank you. I'll catch you folks later. I'm like probably about like 80 pages like left, I should say. I have 80 pages left for this book. I'll see if there's going to be another update along the way, or if it's going to be like for me wrapping up my reading experience for this one. So I'll catch you folks later. Well,
So I finished reading Front Desk by Kelly Yang, and I have to say the last part of this book I have been like really gripping hard because I really wanted to know like what's gonna happen, and it makes me kind of like nervous for them, which is really great. Nervous for the narrative, which is really an amazing thing, when a story is able to do that to you. And like that part where they were caught, that they were hiding immigrants, I was like nervous for them, and there was like a little bit of a decoy with the pants, all that stuff. But I really like the fact where, this story is all about, hey, if you have the opportunity, you gotta seize it and like make the most out of it. The little like Pizza Hut scenes, when I feel great that Mia won, like those like Pizza Hut stuff, and she gets to share it with Lupe. It was so like sweet and innocent, and I love it about this book. And also like you know towards the end, and how this story was resolved, like they were like able as a community to be able to earn enough money and to be able to buy the motel, and that was like really fantastic. Now it makes me eager what the next story is going to be in Three Keys, and I'm really looking forward for that. And it does talk about family dynamics as well, which is another thing also to like ponder about. That part where they were talking about, or talk rather, Mia's mom was talking to her sisters, and they couldn't give her money or lend her money, and it's like, Yeah, it's just like I love how, towards the end we were watching like some sort of a suspense, but kind of not too intense, obviously, because this is written for a middle grade, by the way. So just so you know, so it's expected. That's why it's kind of fast paced as well, because it's written for like middle grade folks. And also, I like where that part where how they were thinking, about not giving up, and also kind of being authentic in a way so that you'd be able to seek help for some sort. Like, it's interesting when Mia read about like Shen's letter and what Shen's life was like in China, and how Mia sort of felt like now she's like in a situation towards like one of the immigrants friends of her parents, where they wanted to show their relatives back in their hometown that hey, they made it there in America, which in a way they did, and it was conveyed in the story, kind of like how the depiction of the good and the bad was like shown really well. And what else can I say? Yeah, and it makes you think about like immigration and all that stuff, and how like when you move to a place where it is perceived to be great, is it really going to be like all that great? Is the grass greener on the other side? Really a good one. And I'm definitely looking forward to read more books by Kelly Yang. And she also has like another series, like the Finally Seen series, that now I'm gravitating to, because I found out that it is going to have a sequel. Finally heard, if I got the titles correctly, hopefully. Yeah, and definitely, I'm amazed with like Kelly's writing. She was able to like flush out the characterizations well. As a contemporary book, I was like holding on tight. I was gripping, like holding my grip, like real tight. So that's cool about that. And it does talk about like, it makes you contemplate about certain things, and I like that about keep me awake. And I got nothing bad to say about this. Another 5 out of 5 stars. Also, that twist where Jason gave Mia back her sparkling pencil, jumping with Mia and the rest of the weeklies, and the rest of the winners of the pool, and of course Mia sending her letter to Jason. That was so heartwarming. I love it. You know what? Bring me 3 keys. Bring me the paperback version of 3 keys so that it matches my Front Desk by Kelly Yang. Now, let me know, folks, down below if you already read this book. How did you find it? Or if this vlog made you eager in reading, Front Desk by Kelly Yang, and of course Front Desk series, or maybe even, other Kelly Yang's books. And if you've made it this far, leave a rainbow emoji, and I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. Also, put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.